Hello. I'm here to make an announcement. I don't know ball. I don't. It's clear and obvious to me. Based on what we've seen, progressing this year, I clearly do not comprehend ball. Let's go back to last week to recap before we go into this week. I got the Lions game right with the Packers. I got the Falcons and Jaguars game wrong. I got the Dolphins and Bills game wrong. I got the Broncos and Bears game right. But they were losing 28-7 at one point, so I thought that one was going to be wrong too. I got the Bengals-Titans game wrong. I got the Ravens-Browns game wrong. I got the Rams-Colts game wrong. I got the Buccaneers-Saints game wrong. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games wrong. Out of 7. Just like on the Sunday. 6 out of 8 to start the week. Almost 7 out of 8. Then we got a little better. We got Eagles over Commanders right, barely. We got Vikings over Panthers right, almost wrong again. We got Steelers over Texans wrong. We had Chargers over Raiders right. We got the Patriots over Cowboys wrong as a book. We got the Cardinals 49ers right, but that's kind of a given. We got the Jets Chiefs right. We got the Seahawks Giants right. So we finished off competently. Not well, but competently. We finished off like Desmond did last week. Not good, but not nearly as bad as it was the first half. Oh my god. Am I connected to Desmond's play? No. Maybe. I was gonna say, I know I'm not connected to the Falcons play because I predicted very well last year. And last year we had Marcus Mariota playing for us. So it still feels like we got Marcus Mariota playing for us at times. Except for the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter feels like Desmond Ridder. All the other quarters, it's somewhere in between. Well, that's my recap of last week. Might as well move on to this week by starting off with a rant on where I'm at for the Falcons. Excuse the cough, folks. I apologize. Also, I did not submit my pick before the Week 5 game started, but I got it wrong anyway. I was going to pick the Commanders. And, well, guess what? We saw the Bears win. We saw DJ Moore win. We saw DJ Moore single-handedly beat the Commanders, if you really want to think about it like that. DJ Moore had 230 yards. Justin Fields had a total of 284, I think, passing. I think he had one passing touchdown that wasn't to DJ Moore. I might be wrong. I think I might be wrong. But DJ Moore had 3 receiving touchdowns, which would have been 21 points if you include the extra points. And the Commanders scored 20. So 21 is bigger than 20. I know, crazy math. Well, Bears look like they have a working offense right now, and it's probably because they played 2 very bad defenses in a row. But maybe the O-line is getting better. Maybe, question marks. Their O-line didn't look great tonight. Question marks, but look, there was a good defensive front, so maybe it's better. Maybe the defense isn't the worst in the league. Maybe. Yeah. Positives for Chicago. and you have the Panthers first overall pick, first round pick, which might be the first overall pick. So hey, it's a lot of positives for Chicago this week, it seems. Talk about Desmond Ritter. Talk about Desmond Ritter. It's a second game. Fuck it. Let's talk about Desmond Ritter because it's the first 1 p.m. game. We'll go back to the morning game. Desmond Ritter. Sorry about the pause. I was thinking to myself, and I realized something. I realized I should have done this one live. Well, Desmond Ritter is what I liked about Desmond Ritter. What I liked about Desmond Ritter as a prospect, I liked that he saw the field and could read a defense. And then when he became a Falcon, I liked that he had both those traits. And then that he had a little bit of a spring to him, running. But more so, that he had more zip on his passes than I thought he did. And could fit in some tight windows. So, all these things together, I was like, that's a quarterback I like. Since then, it seems his calling cards have become leadership, not turning the ball over. I'm really trying to find more. I like Desmond Ritter. The deep passes are not awful. They're pretty decent, actually. So, there you go. 3 things. I like this. I really do. Recently, in addition to those 3 things being his calling card, there have been new things added to his play. And first and foremost, there has been a report that Desmond Ritter, there's been a stat by PFF that Desmond Ritter leads the league in turnover-worthy plays. I kind of believe it. He's had a few fumbles that we got back. He's had a few interceptions that were dropped. So, those few things add together, and I would agree. And you add that with that being one of his calling cards. Recently it takes away that calling card, in my opinion. It doesn't make it truly one of his good traits. It arguably becomes a deficit of him. And now let's play that same game and look at the traits that he had as a draft prospect, and even as year 1, preseason 2. Not this preseason because we only saw 1 drive. I take it back. That preseason drive was very good. He looked like solid. He looked very solid. But since let's go comparatively, he looked like he read a defense. He does not look like he reads a defense right now. He looks like he has predetermined reads. He looked like he figures out where he's gonna go before the snap, and then stares it the fuck down the whole time. Doesn't even look somewhere else and try and divert a play. Sometimes he will. Usually he won't. If it's like a big play that's supposed to happen, he will stare the receiver down the whole time. Not even look over here and then expect it to be open on the backside based on the coverage that he sees on this side. I know he's capable, so it's not like but he during the first season, the first 4 games, he progressed each and every game. And you can even argue that he continued to progress until week 5, and week 6 was like, oh, fourth quarter came around, and we're like, dude, Dez is the shit, man. Dez is the guy. Yeah, Dez is better than Jordan Love. We were like all about that shit. We were all about it. I was about it, at least. Sorry, all about it. Keep in mind that was just the fourth quarter play. Though the rest of the game, I was like, needs to get better at that. Lions game and what was the last game? Jags game. It kind of seemed like the defenses were like, beat us, Desmond, beat us, pass the ball on us, I dare you. And I know the routes weren't great and the pressure was fairly consistent, but it wasn't unworkable. Then there was a lot of negatives that he brought to it. He made the negatives worse. Typically, he's also been slow with his decision making. Like most times, I'm seeing at the screen, I'm going, throw it. I shouldn't be telling the quarterback to throw it. I barely tell other quarterbacks in the other, like when I watch TV to throw it. I do say it, but I don't say it often. Dez, I say it very often. There's multiple plays where the ball was just a little bit early to the receiver. One, the defender wouldn't have had an easy chance to make a play on the ball, or defender wouldn't have an easy chance to make a play on the receiver who could have broken the tackle for a first down or something like that. So there's just a bunch of things that just aren't hitting there yet, and like. I'm not there yet. I was gonna make a final point. He's not moving around enough. It's possibly because the O-line's been so negative and that he hasn't had an opportunity to just kind of sit back there and then navigate out normally like he wants to. Like I've seen him do so successfully. My favorite Dez is moving out slightly to the right Dez. Stepping up and moving out slightly to the right Dez. He's so good on there. He's so good on that off-platform run. He places the ball very good, like up above for receivers in those instances. Almost always. What else was it? There's arguments about like him not hitting deep shots, which one, that's kind of fair. He's been better than Mariota, which like that's still a very low thing. But I've been getting lower on him as the 2 weeks have passed. And well, I saw another statistic that happened to just turn me off entirely. I'm not done on Dez. It's not based on just this little statistic, but it is going to be nagging in my head and going to be shortening the fuse each time. It is that players that currently lead the league in uncatchable passes, number 1 is Kyle Pitts. Number 4 or 5 is Drake London. The two targets, like the 2 number 1 targets for Atlanta. Unacceptable, right? Right? You just can't take that. That's like option number 1. You could argue is Bijan. Well, it shouldn't be, but I guess you can, because argue he could be the best player on offense, but you shouldn't be because number 4 overall, number 8 overall, also are there with them, and they've had more experience. They should be getting more play, or more usage, at least more than what they're getting currently. Scheming, not getting them open, getting them contested catches, this, that, the other, bad protection, all these negative things that do affect Des. Bottom line, if you can't get the ball, a catchable ball to your receiver, you're not doing your job. Top 2 targets, uncatchable passes. All those negatives I listed all of those negatives that are coming now. All the positives that were there are currently not fucking showing right now. His fourth quarter is good. His fourth quarter, all those things usually just get a good bit better. Past 2 games they haven't. The fourth quarter does not shown up. Now, I don't want to start a quarterback who's only good for the fourth quarter in home games. I don't want Tim Tebow. I don't want that. I don't want to compare my quarterback to fucking Tim Tebow. He doesn't deserve that. But if teams are literally almost making fun of you and daring you to pass the ball against them, and you can't do it, there's no point in having a good run game. There's no point. So, I'm not saying give up on Desmond Ridder. I'm not saying I'm out on Desmond Ridder. Once again, I like Desmond Ridder. I'm rooting for Desmond Ridder. I have been in on Desmond Ridder. I've never been out on Desmond Ridder, but he's getting very close to it. He's walking me to the edge. he's walking me to the edge. Not saying, like I said, not saying give up on him. However, if he continues this play for 2 more games, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 2 more games, continues this play, I think that the play of the quarterback is too detrimental to the team, and that there's an argument that he's still not ready. Put him back on the bench, continue to develop him in practice, right? 2, it wouldn't be hurting the team. You have playoff aspirations. You're in a fairly open division. You're losing time with that, like in the open division. 3, put the other quarterback in and find out if it's truly the issue with every other spot on that offense. You know what I mean? If all the same offensive issues continue with Taylor Heineke in there, then you realize Desmond Ridder just is the issue right now. And I do think he's bringing enough negatives that it's holding it back further than it currently is already being held back by certain issues in play calling and inefficiencies on the offensive line, especially in pass protection. Yeah. That's my Desmond Ridder Atlanta Falcons take. You can send that to Arthur Smith. You can send that to Desmond Ridder. You can send it. I stand by it. I'm rooting for him. Also, I like Arthur Smith. I just think he needs a little bit more efficiency in the pass game. And I think he needs a better offensive coordinator personally, who could handle the offensive pass game. And I also think his biggest issue is his personnel kind of thing. Like, he likes to hold on to certain personnel, like, decisions, which sometimes he ends up being right on, but he just kind of holds, like, sticky on it. Like, there's no instance should Kyle Pitts be blocking on 4th and goal, you know? Like, let's think about that. Competent blocker. Sure. Excellent tight end. Oh, yeah. You'd rather have Jonnu, very good catcher, and pretty solid blocker, doing the blocking right, because he's a little bit better. Not only that, but he's also not as good of a receiver. Okay, well, Kyle Pitts is going to have multiple people guarding him. Okay, well, if you have him blocking, those 2 people guarding him are still going to be in the vicinity, guarding the play. and at least one of them is going to realize that he's blocking and then go off. Which I don't think the defense are giving Kyle Pitts that much respect anymore. So I think it's more so the play calling kind of trying to outsmart itself, end up ending up outsmarting itself like this. Even so, if he has to maybe draw him away from the play on purpose, instead of just having him sit in the middle of it by blocking. He's getting targets. Some of his routes aren't as good as they should be. That's for damn sure. I haven't seen. I know the balls to him are not like great because like I have seen a stark difference in Kyle Pitts from Matt Ryan to not Matt Ryan. Because Kyle sometimes would catch it in stride and then go for a while. Kyle doesn't catch it in stride anymore. The balls are usually too far for him, or too short for him, or too high for him. Or he has to go make a play for it and dive and catch it. What it used to be is he would just kind of go over people or go through people and get it. He's that good of hands, and I miss seeing that. So I'm at the point where I'm frustrated. And I'm about ready. Like, I think if Dez doesn't have a good first half in this game, I'm done. I think I'm done. Like, you know how I said I'm going to give him 2 games? I am, because I'm not going to, like, start calling for his head until after that. Obviously, I have no effect on anything whatsoever. But I think my actual fuse is the first half of this game, because I don't want to wait for him to be like, oh, the fourth quarter of this game, be like, oh, look, there he is, you know, there's that guy. Because then the likelihood of him showing up the first half of the next game is still so unlikely, and I don't want a fourth quarter quarterback. Yes, I do want a fourth quarter quarterback. I want a quarterback that's excellent in the fourth quarter. I love that. That's one of the main reasons I'm still sticking to Dez, because his fourth quarterness is still there. But there's not just a fourth quarter play. There's 3 other quarters. There's 3 other quarters that need to be played. You don't need to. Yeah. I'm rambling. You can tell my emotions are hot. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. Fuck it, whatever, man. Let's just go. Jaguars are gonna lose the Bills. Bills are a juggernaut right now. Defense is rolling, offense is humming. They're synergized. They're working. They're above where they should be. I thought they should be. Their O-line is also playing above where I thought they would be. The Texans and the Falcons. I honestly am picking the Texans for all the reasons I said before. Texans are good. It's not, honestly though. Let's say this team was the Panthers again, because like the Texans and the Panthers have 2 very different builds, and it's not just simply the Falcons are bad. I'd still pick the Falcons over the Panthers, but I'm picking the Texans over the Falcons because C.J. Stroud has been one of the best quarterbacks against man coverage defense so far this year, and Atlanta does a lot of man coverage defense. It's one of the we're best at as a group. So C.J. Stroud should have a decent game. Shouldn't have a struggle. Shouldn't have an excellent one. But I also have a belief that if a rookie plays the Falcons on the rookie year, their play kind of determines how the rest was indicative of how the rest of their career is going to go. Or at least, for at least short bit of it. Bryce Young did not have a good one. Just several incidents, 4 of actually good ones. Like first one that comes to mind is Beckham. Oh, the Beckham played against Atlanta and he just lightning. But it was like a weird thing because it was like he's so good for so bit of it, but not like consistently there. So that was very indicative of who he ended up being. And I think CJ Stroud's gonna be very good. So I think CJ Stroud's gonna end up being very good against us. So I'm picking the Texans. Moving on to the next game, we've got the Detroit Lions, the Carolina Panthers. Do I need to explain why it's the Lions? I shouldn't have to. You're in the wrong need for that. They're struggling, Carolina. You know, like the hot message board this week is going to be how bad they fucked up because all the players they could have had. I'm not even going to list it because I don't want to do that to them. Moving on to the next game, we got the Colts and the Titans. Let's bring it down. The Titans have a better defense than the Colts. The Colts are a more electric team, and I think that's gonna be enough to win it. The Giants and the Dolphins. Once again, the Giants are a falling down, are a slowly falling down Cyclops or Giant, if you wanted to be like that. And the Dolphins are a lightning bolt in a bottle. Our lightning bolt that literally just got bottled up and is waiting to get popped back out. And guess what? That bottle is just it was the wind that was very slowly passing the Giants, and it's about to get got from that. I feel bad for him. Might make a parlay for that one. And what's the other one? That's like high scoring probably. The other high scoring one that'll probably end up being is maybe the Jets and the Broncos. So that might be it. Packers Raiders might also be too. Who knows? Devontae Adams revenge game. Let's talk about that later. Next game. Saints, Patriots. So easily. I'm probably gonna bet money line on that one, to be honest, because looks like people are thinking the Saints based on this, and Patriots just suffered their worst loss under Bill Belichick, and I don't think that's gonna follow twice in a row. And the Saints and Patriots both had two incredibly inefficient and uninspiring offenses. So do you know what that means? It's a defensive battle, and I think Bill Belichick wins that, even without his number one corner. Moving on to the next game, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not who I thought they were. They do have a chance to win this game because of rivalries and they're at home, but the Ravens are a flamethrower of a team right now. They just ate the Browns alive, and they had the best defense in the league. They were on a historic pace, and I don't know what they did on now, but they didn't struggle. Philadelphia and the Rams. Oh, this feels like a Rams win to me. It does. It does. I'm gonna have to come back to this. Patriots and Rams are two far upsets that I'm feeling. Eagles are a better. Honest, let's be real here. The Eagles' defense should just swallow the Rams' O-line as a whole, right? Right. Logically, yes. But I was wrong about the Rams. The Rams are good. Rams are getting a lot out of that O-line. They're not getting perfect play, but they're getting a lot. And that might be enough for a team that is the Eagles that is playing kind of down to their opponents. They aren't kicking the shit out of teams they're supposed to be kicking the shit out of. They're winning close games. They should win this one too, but I don't know. I feel like the Rams are kind of one of those teams that like to win close games too, and I think when the odds are like that, and the likelihood is the other team winning, and you're at home, it's just too many things to one of the few remaining unbeaten teams since I can. Oh. Sorry about that. I got a uncomfortable tickle my throat. I feel like I just sneezed now. Clearly my sinuses are getting assaulted by something. Oh no, I haven't sneezed. That probably was very unpleasant. But hey, we're here now. We're gonna move on. Bengals, Cardinals. I'm picking the Cards, baby. I don't think the Bengals are gonna get to play T. Higgins because of a rib issue. I think Joe Burrow's kicked himself down the can enough and just dented himself enough to where it's kind of like, all right, bud, maybe take it easy on yourself. Maybe. All right. The D-line should. I'm sorry, I had to reload the page. Forgive me. Also, this has been 30 minutes, so I'm probably gonna finish this soon. I know most of the 20 minutes of it was me yelling at Desmond Ritter. But we're here now. Moving on to the next game. Oh, sorry, we're at the Cardinals still. The Cardinals have been competent. Bengals have not. Bengals have been good defensively, most notably on the D-line, and the Cardinals have been good offensively, most notably on their O-line, and that kind of nullifies the Bengals' strength, so I think it's going to be the Cards. Moving into the next game, we've got the Jets and the Broncos. That's tough. That one's real tough. Let's talk through it. The Broncos' O-line has been competent. The Jets' D-line has been very good. The Jets' middle of the defense has been very good. The Broncos' middle of the offense has been alright. I'd say meh. The Jets' secondary has been above average. Maybe even excellent. And the Broncos' receiving corps has been very good. Now, that doesn't mean to say the Broncos are going to get nullified by the Jets. I think that the Jets are actually going to struggle to nullify the Broncos because the Broncos have been good on offense. The issue, though, is I don't think the Jets are going to struggle too much against the Broncos' defense. They're probably going to try and key in on the run, but I low-key think Zach Wilson is going to be able to hit Garrett Wilson enough. That's tough now because I'm thinking about Pat Surtain. Because Pat Surtain's like the one good thing on defense for them. I don't know. I think they're going to move him. I don't think he's going to be able to shadow him the whole time. I don't know.